Martin's asking the questions. The handicaps are Mike starts off -3, I start off -5, Keith starts off +1, see how he can do it, and Danny is +2. 0, everybody adding 5 to the scores. Mike's off 2, I'm off 0, Keith off 6, and Danny's off 7. Let's do it.
Are we ready, everybody?
Yep.
Let's go. Okay. On Saturday, the 28th of June, 1914, at approximately 10:45 a.m., in what city was the Archduke Steve?
Sarajevo.
Yes. In what city was the Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary assassinated?
I think that's a good start.
What is the name of the scientific process by which plants convert carbon dioxide? Steve?
Photosynthesis.
Correct. Convert carbon dioxide and water into the carbohydrates they need for growth, using energy that they absorb from light. In the BBC sitcom Some Mothers Do Adam, what was the name of Frank and Betty? Keith?
Jessica.
Yes, correct. Frank and Betty Spencer's daughter.
He's off again.
First published in 1877, in what Leo Tolstoy novel does the title heroine carry on an affair with?
Anna Karenina?
Yes, correct, with Kampronsky. Born in 1907 and died in 1996, which British Royal Air Force engineer is credited with? He hasn't come up, who was it?
Steve.
Whittle?
Yes, Frank Whittle, credited with inventing the jet engine. Selected by the American Film Institute as the 9th most memorable movie quotation of all time, the line "fasten your seatbelt" is going to be a Steve?
Now Voyager.
No. Mike?
All About Eve.
Correct. It's going to be a bumpy night, was spoken by Betty Davis in what 1950
7
film?
for me, +2 for Mike makes 4.
Recorded in 1954, who had a top 10 hit with the song "Gilly Gilly Ossum Pfeffer Catanellen Stick Keith"?
Max Bygraves.
Correct. Which British Prime Minister, on first coming to power in 1868, remarked, "I have climbed..."
Yep.
Mike?
Gladstone.
No. Keith?
Disraeli.
Correct. Remarked, "I have climbed to the top of a greasy pole."
12, Mike -1, I'm afraid.
In the human body, how is the process of mastication more? Dan?
Chewing your food.
Chewing, yes, correct. How is mastication? Published in 1852 and apparently the best-selling novel of the 19th century. Keith?
Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Correct.
Well
no,
done.
wrong.
Oh,
No.
I thought that was the best-selling novel of the 19th century.
Which American author wrote the Steve?
Harriet Beecher Stowe.
Yes. Wrote the anti-slavery novel.
Oh,
Cabin.
Keith, no, that breaks my heart, really.
Which German artist who died in 1543 was court painter to Henry VIII and was responsible... Keith, just...
Hans Holbein.
Yes, Hans Holbein the Younger was responsible for the flattering portrait of Anne of Cleves that encouraged the king to marry her. Which fruit is fermented to make the alcoholic drink perry? Steve?
Pear.
Correct. For which English club did the footballer Dixie Dean score a record 60? Steve?
Blackpool.
No. Keith is second.
Everton.
Correct.
Oh, -1
Did
for
Dixie
me.
Dean score a record 60 goals in a single season? What are the scores?
Mike's on 3, I'm on 10, Keith's on 14, Danny's on 9.
Next question. Who made his fortune as the founder of the De Beers Diamond Company in Keith? Steve?
Rose.
Correct.
And Keith gets -1. That gives me great pleasure
That's
taking
Cecil
you off
Rose.
there.
He made his fortune as the founder of the De Beers Diamond Company in South Africa and a territory in Africa named after him in what is now Zambia and Zimbabwe. In the English language, what describes a word that phonetically imitates a sound that is, Steve?
Onomatopoeia.
Correct, that is meant to describe. Which British sitcom character has sisters named Violet, Rose and Daisy? Keith?
Hyacinth Bouquet.
Yes, correct. a brother-in-law Onslow, a husband called Richard, and a son named Sheridan, who is never seen. Okay, this is a long one. It was a period of disease, mass starvation and emigration, in which 1 million people died and 1 million more emigrated. Keith?
Irish potato famine.
Correct.
I was waiting for the long one coming up.
In the Beatles film A Hard Day's Night, which actor plays the role of Paul McCartney's very clean grandpa?
Wilfred Bramble.
Yes, correct. In contrast to his most famous role on the small screen as a dirty old man. Defined as the amount of interest that one pays back over a year for the money that they have borrowed, what does APR stand? Dan?
Annual percentage rate.
Correct, annual percentage rate. Born in 1964 and graduating from Princeton and Harvard Law School, before becoming married in 1992, her name was Michelle Robinson. Keith?
Michelle Obama.
Yes. What is her married surname?
19 kids.
Which two-word phrase in Latin literally means "let the buyer beware"? Steve?
Caveat emptor.
Correct. It was the last film to be produced by Walt Disney himself, released 8 months after his death. Which 1967 animated film... Mike?
Jungle Book.
Correct. Features the voice talents of Phil Harris and Louis Prima, and the songs "I Want to Be Like You" and "The Bare Necessities." What number is this? Is the atomic number of beryllium, the number of terrestrial planets in this?
3.
No. Keith?
9.
No. Mike?
8.
No. Dan?
7.
No. Shall I carry on with the question?
Yeah, carry on. Reset.
The
And
atomic
it's
number of
4.
beryllium.
It's 4.
It's 4.
Yeah.
The number of terrestrial planets in the solar systems.
What's the ruling on that? We all minus
Eclipse.
1 for the kick-off. Were you throwing the question open again then?
No, because we all does do
Was I talking to you then?
it. Might as well be.
Okay.
Who in Greek mythology was turned into a stag and then violently killed by his own hounds? Steve?
I don't know. Odysseus?
No. Mike?
Acteron. Acterion.
Actaeon, I've got.
I don't know.
Okay. The chin strap, Gen 2, Keith?
Penguins.
Yes. All species what that is
Penguins.
there.
20, Keith.
Which pop duo had 2 #1 singles in 1987 with It's a Sin and Steve?
Pet Shop Boys.
Correct, and the Christmas #1, Always on My Mind. Featuring prominently in many Looney Tunes cartoons, what is the name of the company that Wowie... Dan?
Acme. No.
Correct. The company that Wowie Coyote buys many of his failure-prone products from in order to catch the Roadrunner. In Coronation Street, which mode of transport was responsible for killing Alan Bradley? Keith?
Tram.
Killing Alan Bradley in 1989, as well as the characters of Ashley Peacock and Molly Dobbs in 2010, as
Let me
part of
just,
the
make sure
50th
I'm on
anniversary
Keith.
celebrations.
Put Keith on the wrong bit there. Keith, you're on 22.
With an area of 147,500 kilometres squared and a population of 150 million people, which is the largest and most populous country never to have won an Olympic medal? Keith?
Bangladesh.
Correct.
Excellent.
In the human body, by what name is the axilla more commonly known? Steve?
Armpit.
Correct. Included in the first folio, in which Shakespeare...
Oh, rats. Macbeth, I don't know.
No. In which Shakespeare comedy would you find the lovers Beatrice and Benedict? Mike?
What you do about nothing.
Correct.
Mike, you've got 10.
In which former Russian country is the Babi Yar ravine? It was the site of a massacre of thousands of Jews by the Nazis in September 1941. Steve?
I'll have a guess at Belarusia.
It's not. Dan?
Ukraine.
Ukraine is correct.
Well done, Dan.
A #1 hit for Boyzone in 1998, the song No Matter What is from which music
Whistle Down the Wind.
Correct. Written by Jim Steinman and Andrew Lloyd Webber. What were the surnames of two people called William, the famous body snatching partners who murdered 6 Keith?
Bergen Hair.
Correct.
And that is absolutely ace. 4 out of 4 today. That's the best win we've ever seen anybody do. That's so dominant.
Well done, mate.
And good sets of questions from everybody. I don't think there were any real bummers in there. It was really good.
Thanks,
Well,
Mark.
another winner for Q12 at a LightSpeed Quiz. The next round's going to be in Rochdale. There might be some people, I hope you have watched it this far. We've had, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different winners now. And as you can see from these games are kind of wide open. If you drop your guard for a few moments, you seem to be out of it. But we've seen Keith the last time he played, that happened, but this time absolutely impaired. It seems like you got the measure of it, Keith.
Yeah, that's it. Just go with your instinct, I think.
How many beers
And
have you
hope
had?
you don't get too many too wrong. 1.
Oh, well, that all accounts for it. Yeah, so next round, Rochdale, coming up at the end of September. What's the next month after September? October?
Yes.
I think we're in Skipton then, or Ilkley, and then November we'll be in Liverpool at the Steam Packet. Again, different Steam Packet in Liverpool, give those guys a chance. And the important thing, whatever you do, come to Pontefract at the end of December where there'll be a charity mastermind event. Now what you're going to do is give me your £20 to enter, and I will send that to Medicine Sans Frontier along with £5 of my own. It's a maximum of 24 people can enter. You'll give me your specialist subjects, and I'll do 15 questions on your specialist subject. Then on the day, we'll all be on the buzzers. You get double if you answer a question right on your own specialist subject, and I will publish the specialist subject 1 week before the mastermind event. That means that you can gen up, and if you don't want Keith Marshall to win, whatever he's picked, you actually revise it. What would you, well, we're not going to ask you what your specialist subject's
It'll
going to
be
be.
animal related.
But that's going to be on the last Sunday in December. Big event for Medicine Sans Frontier. If you are looking for a place to stay in Pontefract and Show can arrange it, that's the one I'd like you to come into. Keith, another great win. Well done, everybody.